Hello, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
You're my favorite girl. You make my simple come on. 'Cause you're my favorite girl.
Why do you always sound like this?
This is why I look. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy 2026 to
Welcome back to the US.
thank you. Thank you. It's the new year, new hopes, new desires.
Great.
So
Guys, on that note, I made Anayata a gift for her to look forward to all of life. You know, snails, they only go forward. They don't go backwards on their little snail track. So sorry to those on Spotify, but if you're on YouTube, I made this for Anayata.
this is so cute. It looks like you.
It's tiny.
So cute.
Very proud of my grandma hobby. Anyway, Happy New Year.
Your grandma hobbies are so back.
I know.
I need to have one. I have no grandma hobbies.
You read a lot, you write a lot. If
That's
our
not a
grandmothers were,
grandma
if they
hobby.
were literate, it would have been their hobby. I'm sorry they didn't have the opportunity to be educated.
No, grandma hobby. Like my grandma hobby would be probably like gardening. But
Gardening,
I
yeah.
don't like I took up gardening, but like it's not going that well because now I just have plants.
So that's, I mean, you don't have a garden. This is like indoor plants is grandma hobby gardening now in this generation.
Yeah, so that and I cook, but I think that's just a little basic life skill.
Yeah, that's a life skill.
But like
Um,
if I bake like sourdough breads or something like that, like that is also really something that is
that
coming up.
that sourdough starter thing, which people say it's alive, is really creeping me out.
Yeah, you saw Taylor Swift did a batch of her sourdough breads and gave it to her friends, and it became like a whole thing. Did you realize that I'm all pink today?
Is it for Valentine's Day coming up?
No. It's
Oh.
because the topic that we're discussing today,
Oh shit, you should have told me. I'm in like blue.
I just like decided I was like, what should I wear? And then I was like, I'll wear pink.
Okay,
Because and I
chalo.
wore some like rosy cheeks and just wanted to feel the
Vibe.
the vibe. So
Why don't
yeah.
you tell our listeners about our topic today?
So today what we're going to talk about is something that's very close to Jesso and my heart. So what I really wanted to talk about, and Jesso also, was where the hell have the rom-coms gone, guys? Like, where are they gone? I don't feel them in my bones anymore.
Mm.
You
Like
know?
both Bollywood and Hollywood. Hollywood, though, even more so.
No, man, Bollywood,
Both?
yeah. Like, there was a time in the middle, just so like last year,
Mm.
where I felt so personally about the decline of
Mm.
cinema, like in Bollywood, that I genuinely went into a rabbit hole and I was like, what is happening? Why
Mm.
are the actors not acting? Why are the stories not storying? Why are the
Mm.
emotions not making you feel anything? The songs are not making you feel anything. Like, imagine if I really go back the past 3 4 years, the only romantic comedy, like big budget romantic comedy that has got people talking or whatever, has been Rocky and Rani.
Yeah. That's so I'll tell you, I was literally thinking the same thing. And I'm someone who watches the most mainstream Bollywood movie. Like you know me, like when it comes to Bollywood, I watch the most rom-com cheesy, but the good ones, the big box office ones, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And how I judge my movie taste, and I think people like sometimes once I was telling your mom about this, I was like, you and I had gone for a movie with your mom in Delhi, and I was like, this isn't a movie I'd watch again. So that is my benchmark of how I assess whether a movie is good or not, about how
Because
good it
you
made me feel.
rewatch.
I
Yeah, you are a
rewatch.
rewatcher. Yeah.
Yeah, I rewatch a lot of things, and even now I rewatch all of the early 2000s, 2004. Abhi, I rewatched Hum Tum. I literally bought Hum Tum on YouTube and rewatched it.
But that's what is happening, no, Jess. So people are rewatching, including me. Like I am just going back and now rewatching things, and that's why we are getting into this whole nostalgia trap. Like there are like screenings of Kal Ho Na Ho.
Hmm.
There's screenings of Hum Tum. You name it, like screening of Jab We Met, screening of
Hmm.
all these, like Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge To Khair has been running
Hmm.
for like years now. I think it's been 30, 31 years that it has just been running.
Hmm.
But there has been like since the past 2, 3 years, like people are just rerunning, these old romantic comedies in theater, and people are actually going and watching it because it's not that people don't want to feel anything, it's not that people don't want to feel love. It's just that I don't know. These producers and directors and storytellers are just not coming up with the right kind of stories.
But I'll tell you something in the Hollywood side. So I was doing some research yesterday, and they were looking at the decline, similarly, decline of number of rom-coms. And every year, like, obviously there are so many movies coming out every year. All of those Hallmark movies during the winter,
Yeah,
Christmas season, they are coming out like
yeah,
super cheesy. But these
yeah.
aren't the types of rom-coms that we're like yearning for, right? And there was a stat. This girl was looking at the stat, Hollywood stat. From 2004 to 2010, Hollywood was taking out on an average minimum 15 to 25 movies per year, rom-coms only. And
Hmm.
from 2011 to 2023, that went down below 15 movies per year, rom-com movies, and then on an average like below 10 movies per year. And then she was like, okay, what is increasing? Like superhero movies are increasing, comic movies are increasing, and horror films are increasing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a very statistical decline that we're not getting, because let's say 25 movies come out, maybe five are great, two is something that you'd keep rewatching for years and years and
Or
years.
become like those cult movies.
Exactly, they become cult movies, they define generations, they create social norms and dynamics. And it's people are not investing, like Hollywood producers are not investing. Like you said, there are no actors like when we were in the 2000s that sort of looking up to actors as someone who can really make you feel like, I don't know, even in Bollywood and Hollywood, the new ones, new actors, no one makes me feel like that.
That's true. And the ones who did make me feel like Ranbir Kapoor was one actor.
Hmm.
Ranveer
Hmm.
Singh also, he came up
Hmm.
with Band Baja Barat, which was a really good movie with
Rocky
Anushka.
and Rani was really good. I've rewatched Rocky and
But that's
Rani.
what I'm trying to tell you now. Rocky Rani was good, but if Rocky Rani released in 2004 or even 2008 or whatever, it would have been at best an uh,
Hmm. Hmm.
average movie.
Average movie.
And
Hmm.
towards the end of it, it became so preachy.
Hmm.
I've been thinking about it. Okay, first let me talk about this because you know me. I was born romantic, right? Like I'm a born romantic. Like I have grown up on a very steady diet of romantic movies,
Yeah.
romantic songs, romantic novels, not necessarily just watching Western movies, but even Indian, right? Like, and
Yeah.
going back, like I've watched like 1980s, 1970s
Yeah.
Indian movies. This that so I have grown up like full on like this drama queen who believes in love and this and that. And there is something about romance, okay? Like the whole word romance comes like and the Indian equivalent, and some people say it is derived from that, comes from romanchak, right? And romance essentially means adventure.
Hmm.
It means it has to mean magic.
Hmm.
Romance doesn't necessarily mean just love, right?
Hmm.
And for romance to actually create that magic, there needs to be some level of surrender. There needs to be
Hmm.
some level of magic. There needs to be some level of delusion, risk taking,
Hmm.
not wanting to curate everything, not wanting to
Hmm.
make it like hyper curate and clean everything.
Hmm.
And the problem is that now the way the films are being made, the stories that are being told, everyone is so obsessed with telling it the right way, telling it in the most glamorous way, making sure that the actor and actresses are looking so perfect, the sets are so perfect, the stories are so sanitized, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like, I get it. Like, of course, you need to be more responsible and in the way you tell your story, but you can still retain the magic, you know. You can still retain this margin of error where someone is goofy, where you know, you just let the characters flow and the chemistry flow. But because everything is becoming so sanitized, our feeds, the way we are taking content also, like it is just taking away that magic. Now, even though everything is perfect, you're not able to feel things.
I'm going to take you one step like ahead of this. Like someone was giving this very similar analogy on Substack, I think I was reading, about how as a society and as a culture, even the way we date these days, right? It's so fast paced. You look at one red flag and you're like, done. I am not going to work with this person to, like this is not a red flag per se, like a beige flag, you know how they call it? Like a
Yeah.
beige flag in friendships, also, you and I work through things, right? But there is no time to work through things. So something very similar is like when Materialist came out. Have you watched Materialist?
I hated it. I
I
and you know why I hated it? Because I so badly wanted it to work.
work with which guy?
No,
The
I wanted the movie to work.
I wanted the movie to work as well. But one of the things that, so before I watched it, a few of my friends watched it and they're like, this is broke boy propaganda. Like, which woman in her right mind in New York is going to leave a rich man like that and go with a poor man? So there was this entire article about how this movie is a broke boy propaganda and feeding us this idea that women should give up everything for love. I didn't see it that way. I agree. I don't think the movie worked for me. I watched it on a flight very recently. It did not work for me. But my take is that you cannot, like you said, sanitize a movie to be like this person has to have all the green flags with no flags, with
Ah,
no
the
beige
way.
flags, with both. Like they can't be there. The character needs depth, and sometimes depth does mean
Complexity.
complexity, exactly, and that sometimes means understanding through romance how are you trying to bridge that gap. Like you have a problematic, not a problematic person, you're not like an insane person or an abuser, we're not saying that. What I am saying at least is there needs to be some character depth that challenges the the romantic in you to be like, I'm going to work through these things because my love for this person overpowers the challenges in me. And that, I feel like you said, is missing because as a society we're very quick to be like, this person is like this person is like this, no way, let me go to the next
And we
person.
just like label, and then we are just told that, you know, and also, you know, I feel it is like it's a vicious cycle. Like, you know, what is being created is impacting the society and the dynamics, and what the society is heading towards is also then impacting, you know,
That's the thing, right? Does art imitate life or does life imitate art?
true, true. So we are seeing this whole concept, and I think we covered it a little bit also. Like, not exactly this, but you know, Woke came up with this question, and that like sort of took over everyone's like thought process, that is having a boyfriend embarrassing now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And and the thing is that men have, I don't know, the idea of women and men getting into relationships have become less aspirational now, like, you know, for a girl. And I don't know if it has become less aspiration because now they do not have, you know, resources, or like, you know, escapist cinema, good novels, music that made you like, you know, dream, and like, you know, a teenage girl, you listen to like Taylor Swift or whatever songs we listened to growing up, and we would be like, oh my God, you know, I want to fall in love to this, you know, or I want a guy like that, and things like that, and that's like sort of missing, and then I don't know, and added to that, people are not wanting to date. They don't want to get intimate with each other. The way sexual relationships are on a decline. Male loneliness epidemic is on the rise, and then to all of that, you just have hyper masculine, nationalistic cinema, you know, taking
although
over.
although I don't believe in the male loneliness epidemic. I think it is something that women have been facing for a very long time. I think it's a great rebrand of something that exists not as a symptom but as a result of something. But we can get into that something later.
Yeah, but what I'm
But
trying to tell you is that like people are becoming more and more lonely and
yeah.
isolated from
No,
one
no,
another.
100%. And I think so. Reese Witherspoon, someone who produces a lot of these like movies, romantic movies, adaptations from books, she on an interview was like, the challenge of not having rom coms as we used to in the earlier days is that young people, especially Gen Z and the younger generation, they're not understanding social dynamics and cues. Because a
Yeah,
lot of what social dynamics, when it comes to romance, when it comes to friendships, we learned from critiquing and understanding movies, right?
yeah.
Like take
Critique,
like something
critiquing
as
being a
random
very
as
keyword.
sorry,
Critiquing being a keyword.
right?
Critiquing being a keyword. Yeah, because you
Exactly.
learn that okay, this is not right or this is right, and you make your own understanding of how you want social dynamics to be,
Like
right?
for example, Lindsay Lohan, sorry, not Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff's Cinderella story, right? There
Yeah,
was this entire understanding that you could take a fairy tale but reimagine it from a class angle. There was a class angle, but not like shoved on your face, but there was a great understanding of a class angle. There was this understanding that why are men, like, still not okay with dating someone who's not popular, and these are dynamics that still exist even in the real world, right? So I think there were cues for not just young adults, but for adults also to critique and understand and learn and relearn from. But no, it's missing a big. It's a big missing part in our lives.
I mean, I'm just like thinking about it, like the whole concept of, in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, I remember watching Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, and it was like, Pyar Dosti Hai, when Miss Briani,
Hmm. Hmm.
Pyar Dosti Hai, and love is friendship. And it literally defined years, like generations
Yeah.
of relationships.
Yeah.
uh, high school relationships or college relationships, like people still get married and like dance, like college sweethearts get married to like get married later, and then they're like, yeah, he was my best friend, and then
Yeah.
he became my spouse. However problematic Kuch
Yeah.
Kuch Hota Hai was, however problematic, it still gave you like a lens. That's what I'm trying to say. You say that critique, that okay,
Hmm.
now maybe we are mature enough to realize that okay, you know what, you didn't have to portray Anjali as a tomboy who turns into a feminine character for Rahul to fall in love
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
her. But
Yeah.
still, it gave you something. It made you understand that oh, probably I like a bratty boy like like Rahul, or maybe I identify as Anjali, who's not someone who's like drop dead gorgeous, or maybe some people like associated with Tina. Like it created some structures for people to associate or disassociate from.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Like I remember watching 27 Dresses, okay, and I
Hmm.
think I
Good
have told
movie.
you this, but that movie just so diff. I think I'm married today because of 27 Dresses.
Please explain how.
Because you know how I was. I was always this goofy girl, right? And
Hmm.
honestly, rom-coms gave me a lot of validation, or at least it gave me like a lot of literature or information on how to navigate or identify myself as okay,
Hmm.
fine, you know what? There is a character like mine who's funny, who's not
Hmm.
instantly like, oh my God, she's like the heartthrob of the class or
Hmm.
something, but she's like that girl who can make someone laugh or things like that. And I embrace that identity. Now, when in rom-com, in 27 Dresses, she would like be this overly helpful girl and
Hmm.
things like that. And
Like the best friend.
the best friend to
Yeah.
everyone, right? And I could so identify to that character because I was always the best friend. I was always the best friend, right? But that character gave me hope. And somehow, when I was 15 or 16 or whatever, when I watched that movie, I was like, look at her. She was so nice. She was so kind hearted. She went and helped all her friends, became the best bridesmaid, fixed people up, was a matchmaker in the hopes that when she finds someone, that person is going to be the best. And
Yeah.
I literally manifested that storyline into my life. I was like, I'm going to be there for all my friends. I'm going to help them find their true love, and I'm going to be there, like, vouching for them. And you know what? In the end, it's all going to be okay because I'm going to find someone who's best for me. It it really gave me hope, and I
Yeah.
genuinely manifested it.
And that reminds me, like, from 27 Dresses, I was just thinking he is a journalist, right? So, and a lot of the female tropes in these rom-coms was that, oh, a young woman journalist working in New
Yeah.
York, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually reading this analysis, so funny. They're like, maybe they can't do that anymore because journalism itself is dying. It's almost extinct. It's not a realistic, like, it started with like Carrie Bradshaw writing articles from her home and like affording this lifestyle where probably you'll be paid like $200 a week if you do that lifestyle, to like Jennifer Garner in 13 going on 30, what 10 ways to how to lose a guy in 10 days, shopaholic, confessions of a shopaholic, all of these movies, right? And it's just like, you cannot survive as a journalist just doing that and getting months and months at a stretch, because it's like they want to maybe show it, like, or maybe what Hollywood wants to show it, but they're like, it's not realistic in this economy anymore.
Why Hollywood would always show, like, women in journalism, media, that kind of profession. Maybe they wanted to promote it, but in India, like in Bollywood, those were not the roles.
uh,
Like let's say in Kal Ho Na Ho, Naina was actually an MBA student wanting to
mm.
climb the corporate ladder. A lot of them like in the 90s, so they didn't work only. Like there was
In
no.
Salam Namaste, she was a doctor and a DJ.
Yeah, she was a doctor and a DJ. So that way the roles were like very like diverse. I'm trying to
Yeah.
Hum Tum, she was a boutique. She was a
Boutique
fashion
owner.
designer who owns a
Yeah.
boutique owner, like a boutique. Then what else? Jab We Met, I don't think Geet did anything. Jab We Met, I think
I don't remember either.
she was
Yeah.
a college girl. She was just a
Yeah.
college girl. But the guy was a business
Mm.
man. But yeah, I don't know why. Like, I don't know why they had these roles. Maybe they thought they were suited to girls. Like, they wanted to show aspiration, but they didn't want
Yeah.
it to be too aggressive. Like, oh, she's climbing the
Like the
corporate
corporate ladder.
ladder.
Yeah.
You know what, journalism
Soft
and
corporate world,
soft
journalism.
corporate, yeah, soft corporate
Yeah.
world, yeah, yeah. But then it worked because it encouraged so many girls, including someone like me, to get into media. Like, I think I was very inspired to like have one of these kind of jobs.
So I just wanted to work in New York after all that. Like, that was my goal. I think that's the reason why I'm here. Literally, I'm telling you.
A lot of people have, like, I think I wanted to be a writer because of all of this. Like, there would be like girls writing or like, sitting in a cafe and writing, like I liked. So I think it was a positive influence only. I think rom-coms, I think you can critique rom-coms for being floozy, you can critique rom-coms for like, whatever, but they have taught us so much. Like, I think not only rom-coms, but even like reading these magazines like Cosmopolitan or whatever, however black and white the interpretation
Mm,
was, but to understand what desire is, to understand
mm,
what intimacy is, to understand how you want to be treated by a guy or how
yeah.
you don't want to be treated by a guy, or how like I'm telling you, should I appreciate my curls, should I not appreciate my sense of humor, where do I stand in this whole compass of desirability, romance, forming interpersonal relationships.
And I think for even like young girls and desire, and I wish it was for young boys also, because so many young boys look at porn as where they should go to understand what sex looks like. But porn is not sex,
Yeah.
right? And for young women, like, women before us used to read those historic novels, and I think we then went to like romantic comedy movies and really learned from there, like, what can I feel, like what is okay for me to feel, even for like lesbian couples, gay couples, right? Like, what is okay to feel and not feel, like, you learn so much from there. But I do think one thing, and tell me what you did. You watch Eternity?
No.
Okay, you have to watch Eternity because that did spark something in me. I would
Oh,
rewatch
I've
that.
heard it's a bit. And coming to and then you can continue, but coming to like good rom-coms that are coming up, like not rom-com but romantic storytelling, I really have Heated Rivalry on my list.
Heated Rivalry, Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights, yes, Heated Rivalry, because people are going
Going
crazy, man.
crazy, I know.
And
It's already
they're
on HBO.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have the subscription. It's on my list, and they're saying that the way the relationship between two men is being
Yeah,
portrayed,
yeah,
the way masculinity is being depicted without
yeah.
like being soft or hard or being bucketed anywhere, like just plain like two men uh wanting to be intimate with each other. And some people have called it like smutty or whatever, raunchy,
Yeah.
but they're saying like the sex scenes are like to die for. Like they're so
I no,
good.
I'm very excited for that, and also like the Canadian government invested in that movie.
Yeah, so
Did you know that?
that's a green flag. But why why is the Canadian
And
government
people are like, yeah, this is where I want my tax dollars to go. No, no, Heated Rivalry is on my list, 100%. It's
No,
a show. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, it's a show. I thought it
it's
was
a
a movie.
no, it's a show.
I'm very excited to watch it. They were snubbed off at Golden Globes, no?
I
Like
didn't see that.
that was
Oh
a
wow.
whole controversy. Like they didn't get any awards despite being such a viral like, sensation.
I know you don't like Bridgerton, but Bridgerton is also coming. I
I
am a
like it.
big
I like
Bridgerton fan.
it.
You like
Who
it?
said I don't
Okay.
like it? I
Oh,
like
I
it.
thought you were not a fan.
No, no, no. I love
Oh,
Bridgerton.
oh.
I
So
watched.
Bridgerton new season is coming, but just on Eternity, you need to watch it because I think it did make I okay. First of all, I went to the movie hall alone to watch that movie.
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I want to experience this rom com after a very long time. I want to go to the movie hall. I'm not going to watch it on my tiny iPad. I'm
Huh,
going to go to the movie hall,
huh.
spend useless money, and watch it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is also like, why am I watching Rocky or Rani on my no Rocky or Rani? Did I watch in the movie hall? I think that also I went to the movie hall. I think it's Netflix releases and movie hall releases also that really are able to create that entire cinematographic feel. And with
Yeah, I get it, but I don't know. I watch so many of these rom-coms in Bollywood and Hollywood in my TV screen, yeah, because where did I have access to watch Western movies, in a theater? I never had access in India to watch. So I've never watched any of these that I fell in love with, like 27 Dresses or whatever the movies were where Harry met Sally and
Hmm,
all these movies. I
hmm.
ended up watching them on my TV screen.
That's true though. Like all the Hollywood, like we would buy DVDs when we were at home and
Yeah,
we'd watch
all
on DVDs.
Princess Diaries, if you want to count it, or 10 How to Lose a Guy in 10
That
Days.
days. But and I think it's not just movies, it's also shows. Like
Yeah,
where the hell are young adult shows that even adults used to be hooked on? Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, where are all of these? And that day there was this creator on TikTok who was like, why do I walk into a Sephora and why are there 10-year-old girls buying Drunk Elephant products? Right? And she was like, I'm so disappointed. Like, we want like this. We were going to maybe Claire's or, like we were using our mother's makeup. Why are young girls being thrown into Sephora like this, into the consumerism habit of wearing products they don't need at all? And one of the TikTokers who was like, that's a fair point. But it's also like, where is their entertainment? Their entertainment is what adult entertainment is right now. Earlier used to have Gilmore Girls, Vampire Diaries, One Tree Hill, 90210, all of
That's
these
So
like
Raven,
That's So Raven, Lizzie
Lizzie
McGuire,
McGuire.
all in like middle school to high school that even adults would watch, and that would be appropriate for young people. But now you have content that is not appropriate for young people. So where do they go? They go into social media, they go into makeup reviews, they become content creators for like makeup. Like, you don't need to be 10-year-old reviewing which lipstick works for you. That is insane.
I
So
know.
it's about like young adult
There's a
fiction
gap.
is there's a big gap, and I don't know why it's not being filled. Is there no
Because
interest? I don't
maybe
know.
it's serving all these big brands and these, this beauty market. Like they're trying to tap into this early to get more, consumer value.
Hmm.
Maybe conspiracy, but
Yeah. No, I
but
won't
you're
be
right. Like
surprised.
I don't know. Like what is a 15-year-old watching?
I don't know because I am still watching That's So Raven on my TikTok. They put full episodes without commercials.
Are you
Yeah,
serious? You need
yeah,
to send this to me on TikTok. Oh my God. But see, that's so Raven, like Chelsea and Raven, their friendship, right? Like you and I
yeah,
identified with that friendship
yeah,
so much. Like I think
yeah.
we used to like, get so much out of it. And it's one thing, it's one thing to have this gap, okay? And no one is filling this gap or whatever. it's another thing, at least this is happening in India so much,
Mm.
that, okay, you do not have soulful storytelling. You have all these nepotistic actors coming into,
Mm.
like, into the play, and you're not giving the talented actors who are actually showing promise and all, you're not giving them the
Mm.
right movies. You are just like putting like these hyper cosmetic faces,
Mm.
okay, and telling banal like stories. Like there was this one that came, Tulsi Kumari something, Tulsi Sanskari Kumari, something like that. It was Janvi Kapoor's
Mm.
movie that came, okay, and I was very
Oh,
excited.
haha. Um,
I was like,
I
okay,
know.
this is going to be a good movie and all. It looks like a
I
nice,
watched it.
nice masala movie, but it flopped. It flopped
Rubbish.
so badly. But on the other,
Varun Dhawan is in it.
yeah, Varun and
It's a rubbish movie. I watched it.
imagine you saying rubbish movie.
Me saying rubbish, my standard is very low.
But on the other hand, Sayara did really well. Okay, but Sayara also, I watched it because it was doing so well. It went viral, and it's not a rom com. It's not a masala romantic movie.
Mm.
It's a soulful, like a tragedy or whatever type of a movie, and it did well with the masses, and it was a good movie, good actor and all. But again, yeah, like we used to have such better movies. We used to have such better storytelling. Like
Yeah.
even Imran Hashmi movies, I was just thinking like back in the day when they used to flop. Like even if you watch like Murder or all these movies, Avara Pan and all, like they was really good movies.
Mm.
That flopped because the standards were so high at
So
that time.
yeah, exactly. That I get what you're saying. Earlier, the standard was here, and when it flopped, also it was here. But the good ones are doing great. But now
Yeah.
the flop ones are here, and the best ones are on the at this part.
Yes, exactly. So the movies that are doing well, if you go back as a diehard, romantic movie fan, I would be like, but yaar, ऐसी movies flop होती थी 10 साल पहले, like these kind of movies would flop. So that is
Oh
what
my
is
god.
scary.
Yeah.
And what is happening, that is one conversation that people are uh, not making movies with sincerity. That is to there, like there is no sincere effort to tell a story. One movie that really did, like, moved me, and I told you also, was Lapita Ladies. What a beautiful movie.
Lapata Ladies was really nice.
But it didn't do well.
But it's
It
not. But here's the thing. So that's what people are saying. There's romantic comedy, like a what do you call
like a hum
Hum Tum
tum
type,
or
Hum Tum. Oh, right.
yeah.
And there's romantic drama. So one movie that really moved me was also Past Lives. Have you watched Past Lives?
No.
Very nice movie, but it's not a romantic comedy. It's a romantic drama.
Like romantic comedy is like, the way it used to be
Petty.
like a Karan Johar movie, or like, something
Yeah.
like that. Like, with like the glitz or whatever, like 10 Things I Hate About You, like, like all these
Yeah.
popular songs coming in, and then, you would sing it, and like people would be like in cool clothes, and then it would still make you feel something.
But no, romantic drama, and I think that's the difference. I think people are going into more, maybe it's a reflection of how society is right now. The seriousness in romantic dramas, those are still coming out. Like, Eternity was ish a romantic comedy, but I want you to watch it because I think it was a good movie. But like you said, if this came 20 years ago, this would not have been able to compete with How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It would
Or
not have been
Princess
able,
Diaries, or
Princess, it would not have been able to compete with
what was
those.
that movie? That movie where they hate each other and then they fall in love. They hate each other. Ugly Truth. I love that.
Ugly Truth.
Oh God, Ugly Truth
I
was.
like how John Tucker Must Die. I like
And
that.
that movie, it's the window, it's the window, it's the wall.
Proposal. I watched Proposal 2 days ago.
Proposal. I loved Proposal. Dude,
It was
that
very
era
nice.
needs to come back. Ugly Truth,
It was
Proposal. I
very
think
nice.
it
Yeah,
all came
yeah,
around
yeah, yeah,
the same time, 2009,
yeah.
10, whatever.
Catherine Hale, like she quit Grey's Anatomy and she made a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston was in a lot of great movies. I think they defined, and first I was thinking, was it that there was this one person on TikTok who was discussing, like, maybe it's that we don't want movies that are showing only love, women are dropping everything. But I don't think that's the truth. Legally Blonde was so ahead of its time. It
Yeah.
was so ahead of its time. Legally Blonde 2 has like a trans woman represented very like, as part of the
You
sorority.
can spin it. You can spin it. And sometimes you just want to escape also, yeah. Like I don't go with this
Yeah.
narrative that everything has to have a lesson. Like you can just have like a no-brainer also and a well-made movie,
And that's the thing. So remember that, I think I've narrated this incident with my teacher in school, where he like picked on me and he was like, "Why the hell do you go to watch movies?" And I'm like, sometimes I just want to like shut down. I want to do
Yeah.
nothing. I just want to shut down and watch a movie. And I think that's similar for. I was also reading that fiction books, reading of fiction books, literature fiction has also gone down, because because this entire capitalistic idea of everything needs to be productive,
And
like
everything needs
every
to have
instant,
value.
everything should have value. In what way?
I
Like,
was
what does it mean to?
I became a victim of that, Jess. So I stopped reading fiction altogether. And there is this challenge called 75 hard. I'm really like toying with like
Oh
getting
yeah,
into that.
it's very
And
hard.
and one of the challenges in that is to read 10 pages, and that is actually 10 pages of fiction. Like it says
Yeah.
like fiction, not non-fiction. I feel if you do not do that, if you do not read fiction, if you do not indulge in stories, if you do not sing songs with meaningful lyrics, stuff like that, then where is your imagination and human
Yeah.
emotional intelligence going? Like,
And
then
then
that's
that
when you
gets
get into
reflected in.
insipid relationships, like where you
Yeah.
don't know what to do with each other and you just treat each other like commodities that have to be perfect and check because
not
you're
just
not able
not
to
just
understand
commodities, how that commodity increases my value. Like,
my
what am I
value.
getting out of that commodity, and reverse.
Yeah, and should fit this. And if it is not fitting this, then I do not know how to deal with this. I do not know how to like deal with nuances. All of this you are taught by like, whatever you call it, like all these soft, what would you call it? Like soft pop, uh,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's not just, and I think the part about friendship that you said, like, so many of these movies, Bride Wars, right? Bride Wars, Bridesmaid,
Yeah.
all of these movies have female friendship as the core element of how you navigate those challenges around female friendship, which is also, in a sense, a form of romance,
Yeah.
right? And I think those are also missing. Like, those are missing a lot. Even in whatever movie you do, you always have friends who are standing by you when the romance like drops. You have people to hold you. And you just become so insular in society because you've not learned those social dynamics also.
And how will you learn it? It if whatever said and done, and anyone like in any generation, people like the youth or whatever, 15, 16, 13, 14 year olds, they are spending time consuming. Like that's where they are deriving a lot, like
Mm.
that's shaping a lot of their ideologies. You cannot be like, oh, only education is doing it, or only like whatever,
Mm.
like it. And if there is nothing for them, like what your point is, if there's nothing for them there, then they go elsewhere. And
Like,
la-
why are influencers determining what pop culture is? That is my problem.
yeah. And what essentially, like,
What,
not to undermine influencers, but they're sitting in their rooms behind a screen and talking. So I mean, you cannot have an insulated person teach you things,
but they're
whatever.
also teaching me very consumer driven things.
Yeah, 100%, because that's what they're
That's what,
essentially their job.
yeah.
But all of this is great, but what is really scary, at least in India right now, is that gap is being devoured by
Mm,
hyper masculine
mm. Content.
nationalistic content. And that is insane, yeah. Like, I mean,
I didn't watch Animal. I watched what Karan ke? Arey, what's the movie?
yeah,
Not Animal. No, the movie. Arey, purana
Kabir
movie.
Singh.
Kabir
Kabir,
Singh. And I thought, when I'll tell you, Kabir Singh gave me a panic anxiety while I was watching it in the hall.
yeah, I
And
know.
I had come out of a very difficult relationship that time, and I watched it, and I'm like, oh my god, what is this?
I'll tell you, I didn't tell you what my reaction to Kabir Singh was. Confession, guilty confession. I enjoyed it. And that is what is scary. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I had that tendency, right, of getting attracted to like problematic men. And I've had that history, right, of like liking dominance and liking like, this kind of toxic behavior. So that movie with its amazing songs and beautiful looking actors and everything, like it just convinced me that like I was like Kiara Advani. I was in love with Shahid's character.
How do we then do we critique the actors, or do we say that they have freedom to do these sort of movies, or do we critique the art, or like how do we critique these type of movies when it comes to talking with people who are very much influenced or inspired by such movies?
So Farhan Akhtar recently gave an interview to Samdesh, Unfiltered by Samdesh is basically on YouTube, very popular, and he interviews people. So Farhan Akhtar was there, and Samdesh was like, "What do you feel about the recent state of cinema and the kind of movies that are coming out and all?" And Farhan said that back then also there used to be angry young man. Javed Akhtar was actually the script writer who coined along with Salim ji this whole angry young man personality that Amitabh Bachchan went on to impersonate, right? He was like, there was aggressive cinema, there was like, this hyper masculinity, but in that, you clearly knew what is right, what is wrong. You always know that there is a villain and then there is a hero. The hero embodies certain traits that you should aspire to, and then the villain has certain traits that you should be scared of having. Like Gabbar Singh,
Yeah.
you're scared of a Gabbar Singh. You don't ever want
Yeah.
to be a Gabbar Singh. But now that line has blurred. Like if you watch
Mm.
Dhurandhar, Ranveer Singh has a lot of toxicity in him as a character. When you watch
Mm.
Animal, Ranbir Kapoor has a lot of toxicity. Uh, all these movies, and they glorify it. They glorify
Mm.
that nationalism. They glorify, this toxicity. So the men who are watching it and the women who are watching it, they're like, yeah, I love Ranbir Kapoor. I don't think there is anything wrong with this. It's okay if my man is like
Mm.
that.
Mm.
And men
Mm.
are like, it's okay for us. So it's slowly in India becoming very normalized.
Yeah.
So romantic comedies are going away,
and
and
and just before you say that also, and it's not being normalized in the way that, oh, this person had these sort of tragedies happen to them, and we as a society should avoid doing such things for people to become like this. It's
yes,
not even that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
like
yeah,
like
yeah. You're so right.
right, it's like you have a villain, you have a good person, but a lot of people look at misunderstood villains also, right? Like a Joker, I'm just trying to think off the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
of my head,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
Harley Quinn, Joker, all of these people who in another light could have been a good person,
People.
but challenges and situations. So as a society, we're like, oh, we should not treat young people like that, we should not do this to boys. As a society, we should not put expectations on young boys not to cry, not to show emotion, that they turn out like this. Instead, like you said, it's coming like you're looking at the byproduct and saying this is great, but not, or understanding the byproduct and not critiquing why that byproduct
And
is even
not
happening.
putting too much effort or sincerity to even give it like that arc for you to like understand that what happened for them to become like this. They are just like this, and you have to
Yeah,
love them because.
they
And
are
then
like this because, and I am like this, so it's great.
yeah, and then they go on to become like big hits. Dhurandhar is like it's going off the record, like off the charts, the way that movie is doing. And
I
it's a
know.
well-made movie.
Yeah.
The acting is
Yeah.
fab, but then the portrayal is very like it has everything. It has violence, it has grotesque violence, it has hyper masculinity, it has men whatever, fighting with each other, clashing with each other, and usme tadka of nationalism is there. So it's like perfect recipe for you to instigate young people. So
Where is Karan Johar? Where are all the producers? Why aren't they like investing more in movies that would counter these movies? My other thought is where the other counter to this
The
to be
thing
like,
is that Karan Johar now, like my understanding, I don't know. The thing is that Karan Johar is, and like people like Karan Johar and who were good with rom-coms, Aditya Chopra and all, now they also are working on such a tricky terrain of
mm,
post-COVID cinema, the kind. So now they are like, "Ki, we need to make money also, yeah.
money.
So
Yeah.
whatever is doing well, let's go with that because whenever we are trying to release these romantic comedy, they're not even doing well. But they are not understanding that they're not hiring the right storytellers. Like put
Mm.
some money and brain in
Yeah.
investing the right resources, get good actors and
And
create good movies and make
and
them
this is
do
a
well and
reflection.
change.
And this is a reflection of the state you're in, because now you're relying, earlier you relied on getting actors. Some were nepotism, babies, produced babies. Some were like, you found them, like Shah
Yeah.
Rukh Khan. And now you're relying on everyone's children to bring the same type of art, and that's
That's
not going to
crazy.
happen.
That's crazy. It's crazy the way they're churning out these
Yeah.
babies
And
and
Netflix has become the platform to do it.
and it just,
The
no
Archie's thing,
offense,
Shah Rukh Khan's daughter,
Ananya Pandey is doing very well, okay? Ananya
Ananya
Pandey,
Pandey is doing well. I agree.
but still, again, if Ananya Pandey was released 15 years ago,
Yeah.
she would have been
Yeah.
a disaster.
Could she compete with the Preeti Zinta? Just tell me.
Not at all. That's what I'm trying to say. And people are like, no, but she is the way Gen Z is. But that's what I'm trying to say. It's a symbiotic relationship. Gen Z is looking at Ananya Pandey and wanting to become like her. Ananya Pandey in turn says, I'm representing the people that are there.
Yeah.
No one is literally adding to the growth and complexity and depth of character building.
Yeah.
Like I grew up watching Rani Mukherjee, Preeti Zinta, Kajol, very, very strong women off
Yeah.
and on screen.
Yeah. I
Juhi
don't
Chawla,
know.
Twinkle Khanna,
It's
all these were amazing women, yeah?
and people are using it. I know, like a lot of like people have started writing this month, like, oh, have rom coms come back? I don't think they've come back. Not in the same way. I think if it's come back, it's what Anayata said about you're judging it here at midpoint. When in fact, if you judge it with movies 20 years ago, they would not even be at par with the lowest rated movie 20 years ago.
And the key is like if at all I want to, we usually do not give our two takes, but if I really feel very strongly about it, I feel filmmaking storytellers have to become uh, more sincere. You need to hire storytellers who are coming from the heartland, like of who understand society, who
Mm.
are growing up like a 25, 26 year old from, let's say, Banaras, who has
Mm.
understood, who is still in touch with his roots, who's still in touch with whatever, and get him to write a story of
Mm.
a small town romance or something like that, and add comedy in that,
Mm.
or someone who's in touch, hire actors who can act, who can move their faces, and Botox is not stopping them from
Mm.
like
Mm.
expressing, and then invest some money and tell good stories. And uh, it is very important. Otherwise, this also will have a very negative impact on how you're shaping the culture.
Maybe as consumers, we also need to let people in the media sector know that we are yearning for romance. Like
Yeah.
a lot of us are missing it in our lives and we're yearning for it on screen.
Which is why to this whole nostalgia, thing starts, and then you make that into a consumerism trend. But why are people going back so much? Like, why are you not? Why, if you are yearning for something, people go and watch a 2000 movie. You just said
Yeah,
I paid on YouTube to watch Hum Tum.
yeah,
Does that
yeah,
not say something? Because why would you pay? If a new movie was coming, you would have watched that movie.
yeah. It's it's not enough. Like Bollywood, Hollywood combined is not enough, and like it's really missing. And I hope if there are filmmakers who are watching this, I hope you do invest in rom coms. People like Anayata and I are yearning for it.
And so many more people.
So many more, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of men in my life are rom com watchers.
Yeah, Sahil is a rom-com
Yeah,
watcher. Niket is boys are rom-com watchers. My
yeah.
friends are rom-com watchers. But now they're being shaped to be like, हाँ वो hit हो रही है तो अब मैं वो देखूंगा. You know?
Anyway, that was a
Very nice
good
episode. Yeah.
first month
Warm up.
conversation. Warm up to a lot. But thank you guys for listening. We have so many things planned for the year, and keep watching, keep listening. If you have suggestions of who or what you'd like to see covered, let us know. We're always happy to take more suggestions.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Cause you're my favorite girl. You make my sing go come on. Cause you're my favorite girl.